Healthy Living with the Dr. Bizal. I love the show. I probably watch it most of the time, so anytime that I have an occasion. And I do have all my questions as well. I get questions from emails. I have people that ask me, ask Dr. Bizal these questions. And Steve, what a pleasure to have you here. And I'm going to start right from the bat with the one question. Why it's so difficult for people to change their dietary habits?
Salvatore, why is it you always ask me the most difficult question to answer that challenges the most people?
Because, you know, I trust your knowledge and the way you make it so easy. In your show, you make it so easy. However, people think that it's easy to say it, but it's difficult to do it. And here I want you to actually talk about the doing.
Thank you. Salvatore, that is probably the most important question you could possibly ask. What I'd like to do is let me share with you a little story. 25 years ago, and this is a story of how I basically got into this business of helping people and trying to make it easy for people to get healthy. I had a very good friend that weighed 365 pounds and had a lot of health problems, and he was diagnosed with a terminal condition. And he asked me if I could help him lose weight. Short version was I worked with him over a year, and he ended up losing 120 pounds, and we did a lot of stuff. But what I recognized the biggest challenge was, and the biggest challenge for him, you know, because we think of, you know, should I be eating this versus should I be eating that? Should I be doing this exercise versus that exercise? The most important shift that he needed to make to guarantee his success was to make the change in the gray matter between his ears.
In his brain.
In his mind, all right? Because until you have your mind in sync, the rest of it is very, very difficult, and you're just shooting from the hip.
So you guide him to make his dream becoming a goal.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
You probably had like 5 different steps that you suggested and made him implement with the discipline about how to change all his lifestyle, probably, not just his dietary habits.
Exactly. And believe it or not, it's very, very simple. First thought is, what are the thoughts that are in your mind that don't serve you, that are inaccurate? And as you know, because you're in the food business, there's a lot of misinformation out there about what health is and what health is not. And again, the beautiful thing I like about what the work that you're doing, the phenomenal work that you're doing, is you're just making it easy for people to do the same thing I do, and that is help them connect the dots in their life. And many times people don't need the real deep scientific stuff. They just need to know enough of the right stuff. And that's one of the things that I think that we both like to do. So with my friend John, it's a very, very simple concept, especially for somebody that's trying to change your lifestyle. Is the same issue as anybody trying to lose weight.
Right.
And it's an element of 2 very, very simple and fundamental things that we've heard a million times. It's a matter of physical activity, and then what we're eating.
But how many people come with an excuse such as, well, I'm really busy, you know, I don't find the time, and both in the physical activity, and that's an excuse not to do it, and 2, into go always in the food that has already been preserved without going and make it from scratch.
Salvatore, there's a common denominator, that question that you asked, that everybody who struggles has a hard time getting to grips with, and that is the real underlying issue, the core issue that really needs to be addressed, is people that make excuses. What's really going on there is they haven't gotten to the point where they've truly made themselves a priority in their life when it comes to their health.
So should we implement maybe a consequence, an enforceable consequences?
Well, there's 2 ways to approach that. You can use fear motivation to try to motivate someone, all right? And if you have children, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But at a much more effective level is if we can empower an individual, all right? And what the empowerment process is all about is being able to reflect to these individuals and how we work with them. Believe it or not, that there's ways in how we communicate and how we impart the information.
So you want to educate them about something?
Well, education, it isn't the education itself, it's how we deliver the education. If you deliver the education in a loving, nurturing environment, you're going to create a situation where they can be more receptive to receiving the information. All right. Let me give you an example. One of the most successful research studies done out there in reversing heart disease Of all the techniques that they use, who has the greatest track record in that is a guy by the name of Dr. Dean Ornish. Dean Ornish is out of the San Francisco area, and years ago he wrote a book called Reversing Heart Disease. Well, what Dr. Ornish did was he did a study that was funded by, I think it was Metropolitan Life Insurance Company, and he had a 77% success rate for people that stayed on his program, where they were able to get significant results in what they use to measure heart disease factors. And when he was asked, what do you attribute your success to? He says, I attribute my success to 3 things. Number 1, frame everything that you're talking about in the positive.
Okay.
Why? It goes back to that old concept of we can attract more flies with honey than we can vinegar.
Right.
Works the same way with human nature. If we talk in terms of the possibilities and what the positive outcomes are for changing a healthy lifestyle, that is much more attractive than talking about the fear, downside consequence of you're going to die, you're going to get this disease, we're going to have to chop off that foot if you get diabetes. All right?
I guess people don't care about that. Not enough.
No, we want to shy away from fear.
We feel immortal.
We don't
We feel immortal, like nothing. It could not happen to us.
well, that's denial. The river in Egypt. Swimming down the river in Egypt, we call that. But anyways, you probably notice the same thing with children when we're working with our children. There's discipline and there's tough what we call love. We don't call it tough anger or tough hate or tough whatever. Believe it or not, it works the same thing on big kids, which we call adults.
So how would you apply what you're saying right now to somebody that is in need to change his dietary habits? Not just because he's overweight, but because his overweight could be a condition to lead him to heart diseases, to diabetes, and so on and so forth. So here you have a patient that comes to you and says, Dr. Bizal, I tried everything. I'm 300 pounds. I want to change my lifestyle. I want to change the whole thing, and I want to keep it as well. However, I'm having difficulties. I need you to show me the path and make it easy for me. Give us 5 steps that you would recommend to that guy.
5 steps that I would recommend is I would actually sit down with them and make a roadmap or make a plan. Here's where we are now. Here's where we want to go. So there's a direction.
Right.
There's a focus. Very, very simple. And what we're going to do is we're going to address 2 things right out of the chute. Number 1 is, are you doing any physical activity? Based upon the way your day is structured, where can we infuse 30 minutes of physical activity? Usually the best place to do that for most folks is right at the beginning of the day, as soon as they get up, where we don't even think about it. Just like you probably don't think about getting out of bed first thing in the morning and brushing your teeth, we'd have you get out of bed, do a couple of deep breathing exercises, put on your tennies, and if you do nothing more than go outside and walk around the block a couple of times.
So you make it a habit.
Make it a habit. And you know the old adage is if you do anything on a regular basis for 30 days, then you're reinforced in the neurology of the brain, and it just makes it easier. So it's starting with some very, very simple concepts like that. Another very basic one from a nutrition standpoint is, and when I do continuing education programs, I even ask doctors this question, and it's amazing how many of them stumble through this. What is the most important nutrient for the human body?
I know because you told me, Dr. Bizal, but I'll let you say it to our viewers.
Okay. People say this food or that food or protein or whatever, or water, and I say, very close, but
Not
no
enough.
cigar, not enough. It's oxygen.
People don't think about it as oxygen as a nutrition.
As a basic nutrition, and here's why. Every cell in your body requires energy. Oxygen provides 90% of the fuel that every cell in your body needs to do whatever its function is. All right, now, if oxygen is the most important nutrient, what's the most important exercise?
Aerobic?
Breathing.
Breathing.
I mean, all right, you don't need to go to a gym, you don't need to do these kind of things. And the thing that people don't realize about breathing is that you've probably heard a lot in the news about bodies being toxic, and then that's why they have all these disease process. The first step then is to detoxify and cleanse the body. Breathing is a mechanism that accounts for over 70% of the detoxification of the body.
Wow.
So if you're not doing breathing, so right away, if we got you out of bed first thing in the morning, most important nutrient is oxygen. If you went out and walked around the block, did some deep breathing exercises, there isn't anything that you could do more powerful for yourself to getting you on track than doing something very, very simple like that. Number
Baby
two,
steps.
baby steps. Number two, and easy to do. Not going to cost you anything. So we kind of take away the excuses, all right?
Right, right.
At the
You
same
got to
time, we
breathe
make it
anyway,
easy.
right? So it's much as well you do it in maybe an outdoor and while you walk a little bit.
And you brought up an interesting concept, and it was the same concept that what ultimately I believed helped my friend lose 100 pounds was the fact that 120 pounds was the fact that I was there to support him through the process, all right? And you said, you know, Dr. Bizal, if you came to me, I would be more than just your doctor. I would be your life coach, wellness coach, healthy eating coach, whatever you want to call it, to help keep you on track and create a system of accountability.
So support is very important in this picture.
Más importante, as we say here in Southern California. Now, along with that, people go, yeah, but I don't want to go to a gym. I can't afford a coach right now because of the financial crisis and all the rest of this stuff. That's okay. You don't need that. All right. Let's even simple it up. There's probably somebody significant in your life, a loved one, all right, that you do the buddy system. Tell them what you're going to do, invite them to share with you. You will both benefit and you will both strengthen the relationship as well.
Absolutely.
Whether it's your wife, your significant other, a brother, a sister, a mother, a father, or your children. First thing in the morning, pull their little buttocks out of bed and have them walk around the block with you a couple times. It's also good for family relationship building. So there's all kinds of
I like that.
very, very simple things that you can do. Because when we're talking health, we're talking, in reality, what? Spiritual health, emotional health, mental health, as well as the physical. And one of the things that we get stuck in is only thinking of the physical dimension. So those are some simple concepts. Now, very, very practical thing to do. Step number one, get your butt out of bed first thing in the morning. Go out, take somebody you love for a walk with you.
Breathe.
Breathe, all right? Now,
So far very simple. So far very simple. I like that.
All right, we're on track then, all right? Next thing, then, from a very practical standpoint, if oxygen is the most important nutrient for the human body, what is the second most important nutrient for the human body?
You're asking me.
Okay, I won't put you on the spot. You don't have to answer that. You know this is a setup question, though, right?
Right.
Some people will get this one right, and it's water. So the other thing that you could do first thing when you get out of bed, even as you're walking or before you walk, is drink a couple glassful of water, anything from 16 to 32 ounces, okay? And the reason being is oxygen is required for 90% of the energy production of all your cells, and breathing is the major detoxification. But how your cells communicate and how all the nutrients move through the body is through fluid and through water. And your body is comprised mostly physically of water.
So it would make sense that if we're mostly made out of water, we should have some water in us, and probably good quality water as well.
Yep. Because the other thing the water does, water is required for energy production and other things in the body as well, and to carry nutrients throughout. But the other thing water does, it acts to help detoxify the body. It will bind and it will carry toxins out of the body. All right. If you don't carry them out of the body, they start to store in the body. And when they store in different parts of the body, then what you've done is you've created what they call a toxic environment in the internal biological environment on the inside that then becomes a breeding ground for all the chronic degenerative diseases, cancer, heart disease, diabetes, fibromyalgia. So those two things, if you went out and did breathing, number one, más importante número dos. I don't even know if I'm saying this right.
But it sounds okay.
Yeah, it sounds cool. You know, it makes it international. It gives it that international flair.
Right,
See,
we're global anyway.
there you go. You got the accent, but I guess when we're out of the country, I have the accent.
Right. But I do practice on my accent every day, so I can keep it.
Well, I'll tell you what, you have it down very well. You're very smooth.
Thank you. I do it just right after I breathe in the morning.
And after that first
and then I
drink
start
of water.
talking and a glass of water.
So basically, those would be the top two, okay? Or the top three would be physical activity, all right, breathing, and drinking water.
Okay.
If you could nail down those three, just those three, if you did nothing else, your body would experience tremendous change in a very, very positive way.
Just like that, simple.
Just like that.
Beautiful.
Very, very simple, all right? If you want number 4, okay?
Absolutely. We're waiting for number 4.
All right. Number 4 is, well, there's several number 4s, but one of the number 4 is get sunshine, which if you're out walking first thing in the morning, there's a very good chance you could accommodate and get that sunshine. But let's move into the food side, okay?
Let's do that.
Salvatore, I've been in this wellness, helping people business for a little bit more than 30 years. So I've tried a lot of stuff.
I wasn't even born at that time, so I wouldn't know that.
Patros Dominus et tu spiritus sanctus. I know I'm dating myself. You wouldn't know I'm 83 years old.
No, you look great for that.
There you go.
Healthy eating.
There you go. Get you every time. What's because I watch the Food Inquirer.
Exactly.
All right. Of all the things that I'm familiar with, I've used for myself, I've used for other people to help get people better. If you were to ask me, other than the drinking water, the breathing, and the exercise, what one thing could I do that would improve the quality of my health more than anything else? And I don't want to do anything else after that. All right? Juicing.
Juicing.
Juicing, raw, organic, fruits and vegetables.
Sounds easy. And actually, you made it very easy because I have seen it in your shows. It looks fantastic, very easy. I do it with my kids every morning. Following your suggestion, I include them, I make them part of my little show, of my own little show at home, and they participate. I keep them away from the knife, of course, and we juice every morning. We do that too, thanks to you. And I do have to admit, it gives me a good start in the morning.
Yeah.
So what do you recommend juicing?
There are 3 basic fundamental juicing things that when I take somebody through what I call Juicing 101, we'll have to do that on your show. Juicing 101, number 1 and probably the most simple is watermelon juice. And when I say watermelon juice, and the juicing I'm talking about is when you actually take the real fruit, chop it up, or the real vegetables, chop it up, and then put it in a juice extractor machine that gives you real-time high nutrients.
I have emailed the link to today's show that you did for us at Food Inquirer to many friends of mine, and I have had a great response from everybody. Praising the simplicity yet of the whole process, yet how much they got out of it.
Well, for example, the 3 primary juices would be watermelon juice, another phenomenal juice, and that's watermelon with the rind. It's not just the red, but it's the green as well, because there are additional nutrients in the green that you can extract that the body just loves. The second one would be lemon, apple, ginger.
Lemon, apple, and ginger.
Ginger in a juicer with some additional water, and we can get into the specifics of that a little bit later. But then the third, and these fruit juices are basically cleansing juices that you would do early in the day. You know, when you're sleeping at night, your body is actually going through a detoxification process, okay? When you wake up first thing in the morning and have an elimination, that's your body getting rid of the stuff it was detoxing. By doing a watermelon juice drink first thing in the morning, a lemon apple juice, ginger juice drink first thing in the morning, what you're doing is you're facilitating the ongoing cleansing and detoxification.
Interesting.
So you're continuing that first thing in the morning.
Natural cycle.
Natural cycle. So you're supporting the natural cycle of the body. The more things we can do in alignment with nature and how the body works as nature designed it, the healthier we're going to be. Okay? The third juice then that's critical is the vegetable juice. And there's a very, very fundamental core vegetable juice that all the juicers in the world have ever did any significant juicing, and I've been juicing for about 25 years, that they'll claim has to be a part of your regimen is what they call a 4-part juice, comprised of carrot, spinach, celery, and parsley.
Wow.
And basically it's 50% carrot and then 50% these other greens. You know, one of the big pushes right now is for all the green drinks because of all the positive benefit that it has. So you get a lot of vitamins in the fruits in the morning, but where you get most of your minerals naturally are from vegetables. So the fruit juices basically are the cleansing and the detox juices, and the vegetable juices are what they call the building juices.
I see.
Because you get the high minerals, you get the high vitamins, the high phytonutrients, antioxidants, all those things that deal with all the free radicals. And the other thing that most people aren't aware of Because one of the questions I get a bit, am I getting enough protein? Am I getting enough protein? Well, I don't know, you're pretty young and it sounds like you didn't grow up in this country.
22.
Yeah, 22. But I don't know if in your country, in your homeland, in your motherland, you had Popeye the Sailor Man?
Oh yes, we did.
Okay.
Braccio di ferro.
Remember what Popeye ate all the time?
Spinach.
I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. Okay. There are every vegetable out there, almost every vegetable out there has protein in it. So when you're eating raw fruits and vegetables, you're getting some protein on a daily basis.
Some clean protein.
Quality protein, all right? So
I'm waiting for step number 5.
you want a fifth step, huh?
I want a 5th step.
Okay. You'll like this one. A hug a day keeps the doctor away.
A hug a day, beautiful, I love this. Look at you, you're lucky. Look at this.
You know, he was crawling over here. I think he wants to be part of the show. What do you think?
Yeah, we'll keep it here. We'll keep him here.
That's your pet. That's your pet ladybug. They say that's good luck.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So a hug a day.
A hug a day. A hug a day. And actually, anyone significant in your life, all right? And the reason why this is important, if it is true that we're comprised of spiritual energy, emotional energy, the energy of thought, as well as the physical, then any program we put together to try to improve the quality of our life or those around us that doesn't embrace an understanding of all those dynamics, then what you have is a self-limiting paradigm. And so that means any routine that doesn't include all those aspects, all right? And hug is about love energy.
Steve, when we started this session today, I didn't know that you were going to give me more than what I expected. And thank you very much. Always a pleasure to talk with you. And let me give you a hug.
Thanks, Salvatore.
Thank you very much for being with us today, and I will see you to the next show of Food Inquiry.